Hello, Stu.
Glenn, how are you? You're fired up today, I can tell.
Oh, I'm fired. Well, I got up early this morning and I read Paul Krugman.
Why would you do that?
Well, because he was saying about, his op-ed on make sweatshops great again. And I just had to see his ridiculous case, and then I just couldn't stop writing. I don't even know if I started that monologue now, I don't even know if I get to the end of it by the end of the show. I kind of just vomited, Paul Krugman truths, and I can't wait to share as much of it as I can next hour. But I wanted to start with something Jessica Krause. Do you know who she is? Okay, it's Friday, so I want you to know I'm going off the rails just a little bit, but this is what she wrote on her Substack. Back in January, I predicted a split, too many divided sidings, too much distance, and Michelle Obama's absence at the inauguration was telling. From the outside, they appeared to be leading separate lives, but the bigger story was whispers of his affair. Don't get me started on the chef's drowning. Right there, you have me hooked. I'm there. Okay, wait a minute. The chef's drowning up in Martha's Vineyard?
Yeah.
Okay. Really? What happened with that one? For months, rumors of him and the actress weren't just idle gossip. They came from well-placed sources on both coasts, the kind of people who would know. And if there's one thing Hollywood women can't do, it's keep a good scandal quiet. Trust me, I lived through Depp versus Heard. Today, I got unexpected confirmation from a longtime friend connected to LA's elite circles. Oh, well, that's credibility for you there. I mean, but I'm not dismissing it. Please, please, please. I'm all on board on this one. I believe. Anyway, she's never been one for gossip, but reached out unprompted. You were right. I didn't want to believe it, but it's true, and it's getting around. The twist? Reportedly an open marriage arrangement, which might help sidestep a messy public split. But make no mistake, Jennifer Aniston with the good hair isn't just a passing fling. West Coast ladies say she's embedded in Barack Obama's world.
Wait, West Coast ladies are saying
West
this?
Coast ladies.
All of them?
All of them.
So all ladies on the West Coast.
I'm just reporting the news.
Okay.
That she embedded in Barack Obama's world, too serious to be dismissed.
Ooh.
Will they ever go public? I don't know. Will they? Won't they? I don't know.
Do you care? I'm curious if you
strangely
care.
do.
Really?
Strangely do.
Why?
Yeah.
Why would you care about
first
such a
of all, it's an affair with Jennifer Aniston, and she should know better because she's already made this movie. It's called the Object of My Affection. Isn't that a story about a romantic fling with her gay best friend? I think that's what it was. So,
have you actually seen that movie? There's no way you've seen The Object of My Affection.
No, somebody on the staff this morning said that, and I'm like, I'm stealing that line. I didn't even know what that movie was. And they're like,
what?
No, it's a Jennifer Aniston movie about how much she falls in love with her gay best friend. And I'm like, you're right.
Right.
This is that movie. Oh. Now, the other reason why I would bring this up is because I don't think we spent enough time on this yesterday. Can we bring up the full screen of Michelle Obama? We have a picture as of Wednesday night, one day after the launch, Michelle Obama's new podcast, which had a huge marketing push. In fact, look it up, Stu. See what it is now that it's Friday. It only got 14,000 YouTube views in 15 hours on YouTube. I could fart for an hour and we'd get more YouTube views than that. But anyway, so here she is launching a new podcast, and Gavin Newsom is launching a podcast. Both of these people just think people are going to clamor. It's like, we need a new Joe Rogan. Well, good luck. What are you, Frankenstein? People like Joe Rogan because he's Joe Rogan. He's honest. He's coming to the plate with actually who he is. You people don't even know who you are. You have no idea. Oh, but there are some out there, Michelle, who know who you are. Big Mike. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You want some YouTube views? Play into that. All right. I'm Michelle Obama, and I just want you to know I'm not going to tell you on the next episode that I'm Big Mike, but I'm not going to tell you that either. 1,000,000 views. Without you even saying a word. 1,000,000 views. I'm just here to help you out. Now, I guess they are up after 2 days. What is the last night was 157,000. What is it now?
157,535.
Okay, all right. So 500 more people looked at it last night, which is great.
But 157,000 views, it certainly follows the pattern of someone who's bought a bunch of views. I don't know if that happened. But like, you don't have 14,000 over 12 hours. 157,000 all the way. You go all the way up to 157,000 in the next 24 hours, and then the next 12 hours get 500. That's a weird pattern.
Are you saying it couldn't happen?
I'm saying if the numbers as reported are accurate.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see 157,000 last night, but if that's what it was, and now it's up to 157,535.
Yeah.
It seems like that's not a thing that occurs.
Huh.
Right? Like usually, it gains momentum. People go crazy on it. Usually, you don't just stop.
Maybe my numbers were wrong. Maybe it wasn't 157.
Just like it's possible that West Coast ladies are wrong.
Yeah. West Coast ladies are never wrong.
That was my impression. I'm just trying to keep it. I'm trying to keep all of our options open.
Right now, the most important West Coast lady, Big Mike, is saying, they're never wrong. They're never wrong. I know it. I can't say it yet, but it's Michelle Obama here. I know it. I'm sorry, Big Mike. So we got that going for us.
There we go.
Yeah. Now, Chuck Schumer. Again, it's Friday, and this is kind of a big story, but I just really want to share it because, I don't know, by the end of the week, me being as nice as I possibly can all week, by Friday, I just kind of want to vent a little bit. Now, I did vent maybe on Wednesday.
I was going to say, you've been nice all week? That's what this is how you
I
describe
don't mean all week. I don't mean God's week.
Okay.
It's not like,
You're just redefining week like we redefine the genders.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
The last few hours.
Stu knows, Glenn. Take it from Big Mike. Stu knows. Yesterday, do we happen to have the audio of Schumer yesterday just saying, yeah, we're okay, all right, I'm not going to shut down the government. Listen to this.
I believe it is my job to make the best choice for the country, to minimize the harms to the American people. Therefore, I will vote to keep the government open and not shut it down. There is nobody in the world, nobody, who wants to shut the government down more than Donald Trump and more than Elon Musk. We should not give it to them. And make no mistake, Democrats will continue to fight what Donald Trump is doing.
Okay. Let me just, before I give you my commentary, let me just appropriately frame what he just said with this. It is, by the way, that cost a lot of money. We had to find like the only guy in America that had a kaleidoscope and could play it. So just I just play this from time to time because it costs a lot of money. For no apparent reason, I said yes to that deal. So I'm getting my money's worth on this. Anyway.
And you're being critical of the way the federal government spends its money.
No, it's my money.
No, it's theirs. They own it, and they allow you to have some of it.
Oh.
That's how the government works.
Again, I'm telling you, it's Big Mike. He knows what he's talking about, Glenn. Okay, thank you. So here he is saying that he's going to keep the government open because there's nothing more that Donald Trump wants more than the shutdown of the government. Except Donald Trump was the one twisting everybody's arm and saying, I'm going to campaign against Thomas Massey because he didn't vote for the continuing resolution. Somehow or another, there's nobody that wants it more. I'm telling you right now, than Donald Trump. He wants to close it down. Now, yes, he's been exerting all of his power. He's been making threats to anybody who says they want to shut it down. But what he really wants, because he's usually so He's
subtle.
usually so subtle.
Mm-hmm.
He usually just doesn't come out and tell you what he really wants and what he's really going to do. Okay. This guy actually believes that, or wants you to believe that he believes that.
He doesn't believe that
He doesn't
at all.
believe anything. He doesn't believe anything.
And not to mention, the government could not have passed this without Republicans.
Right.
It literally could not have occurred.
Right.
Only Republicans could have made it happen.
Right.
Now, I don't necessarily see that as a huge compliment, frankly. But that being said, there's no argument at all that could possibly be made that's coherent that would allow for Chuck Schumer's opinion. Now, that is something you can kind of put on repeat and apply every time he speaks.
In fact, say it again. Hang on just a second. The appropriate music,
Thank
please.
you.
And it's not the kaleidoscope here.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Yeah. Turn down the lights on a Friday night, ladies.
I don't. This is getting even
Because
creepier.
there's some conservative porn coming your way.
I don't have any idea what I said before. Now, it's something about Chuck Schumer that was bad. I don't know. Whatever it was.
And there it is.
No.
Friday night conservative porn. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stu. Appreciate
This is now you really could have some pizza being ordered with that. Do we have a doorbell? Well, we have pizza being
Do we
ordered.
have to play the music and then the doorbell,
Yeah,
I think. You go ahead. You talk about Chuck Schumer here for a second.
Charles Schumer. Charles?
Pizza delivery. Hello, lady. Pizza delivery.
Wait, why is he at puberty yet? He's in a porn. This is really disturbing.
It's Hollywood.
What?
It's Hollywood.
Is this the Jared channel? What is this? I'm concerned.
It's Hollywood.
Oh, okay. Well, that's true.
It, actually, do that again. Play the music again.
No,
Actually, if
do it
it's
again.
Hollywood, it's more like this.
Pizza delivery.
No.
All right. Let me just pause here for just a second to tell you about Jace Medical. As we found out yesterday from the president, it turns out that a lot of the medications we take here in the United States not being made here. Huh.
What?
Yeah, it's true.
No.
Yeah.
That's not possible.
No, it is. It is.
We're a superpower.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Except we don't make anything.
Oh.
You know, they're being made in Ireland. Mm-hmm. Being made in Ireland. What if somebody gets drunk at the switch, okay, and accidentally fills all of our antibiotic bottles up with Lucky Charms and whiskey? You don't know. You don't know. And it wouldn't be the first time. Normally, thankfully, Jace Medical has you covered when you find Lucky Charms in your medication. Whether there's an emergency situation or a medicine shortage, and you can't get all of your meds because they're suddenly magically delicious, you're not going to have to worry about it if you have the Jace case. This is a personalized, doctor-approved case with 5 life-saving antibiotics and options for other medications that you just might want to stock up on, just to be safe. The kit comes with a guidebook written by board-certified doctors to help you identify the appropriate medication and dosage, which is critical when you can't consult your doctor. Clearly, they have thought of everything, except what to do about those damn Irish. When you order your Jace case today, use the It's going to be a very long show. Not for me, but for you. It's going to be I'm sorry, if you tuned in today and you're like, oh, I'm expecting something worthwhile. Nope, today's not your day. Use the promo code Beck at jace.com, JASE.com. Get a discount. Promo code Beck. 10 seconds, station ID. Stop the music, Sarah. Recue that, please. Stations, I'm sorry to do this, but it is Friday. I am kind of in a mood, and I just thought of something. As I said those words, it'd be a lot better. 3 hours, station ID.
3 hours?
I'm just saying. Okay, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. All right? Maybe you can just stations fill. How you doing, Stu?
Great, Glenn. Great. Yes, it's been an interesting morning so far.
Wait until I get to Paul Krugman.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
It all started with Paul Krugman.
He's one of the most annoying people on the planet. You know, he's one of those people that lives in that intersection of ignorance and certainty. And
a very dangerous intersection.
It's a very dangerous. Do not cross.
No. No matter what the light tells you, don't cross. There should be a hospital on all four corners of that intersection.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, right.
Because you are going to get destroyed when you walk in
Yes,
there. And
you
he
are.
does it all the time. You know, perhaps most famously, the internet is never going to have more of an impact than the fax machine. And his body's still twitching in the middle of that intersection right now because of it.
I forgot about that
That's
one.
a good one.
It is. Say it again. Say it again. What was it?
The internet
Yeah.
is going to have only as much impact as the fax machine, which
Paul Krugman. I did. It kind of wrecked it there, didn't it?
you cross the streams with that stuff. You put Paul Krugman on with that
Hey, I'm
music.
an out-of-the-box thinker. Okay, that's what
get
I do.
back in the box. Lock the box. Throw the box into the ocean. Let it sink.
We have Scott Turner coming on in a minute.
Oh, I'm sure he's proud of this appearance.
He's like, he's right now listening, going, what the hell did you sign me up for today?
How do I
Turner-
fake bronchitis?
Yeah. Scott Turner is on with us, Department of Housing and Urban Development. He's the secretary of that. And my first question is, I don't even know what HUD really does. Is it necessary? I mean, let's just tear it apart here for a second. Housing, you mean the United States government, the wing that just decided to build all of these really wonderful 1960s housing projects that are all now crack houses that has everybody living in them going, I'm afraid I can't get out of this trap.
I mean, houses is in the word crack houses.
Yeah,
Term,
yeah, no,
yes.
no. And they seem to somehow or another attract that.
There you go.
And then urban development. I mean, this is from the LBJ era.
Of course it is.
Right, of course it is. So did we not have urban development before LBJ? Did we need the government to go, do we want to start a Detroit? Before everybody was just scattered around Michigan going, I don't know what to do. We're out here on a farm. There's no development in any urban area. We don't know what to do.
Yeah, shockingly, the urban areas seem to be the most developed. Long before HUD came around.
Right.
Yeah.
So I want to ask him, what the hell do you guys even do? And please tell me that you're thinking about shutting this one down, too, because I don't really get it.
Too many agencies. We don't need all these agencies. This is what we're finding out with Doge, right? And I don't know how much Doging is going to happen at HUD. Hopefully a lot.
Do you hate housing?
No,
and
I hate
urban development?
I hate development. Any development. Even rural development.
Rural development.
I despise all development. I want to go. I'm like the left. I want to go back to where there's. I'll write songs about complaining about turning fields into parking lots, and act like that's a really brilliant observation for years and years and years.
Back in a minute.
This is Glenn Beck.
So it's Friday night. Vinny is delivering some pizza. Hey, extra pepperoni, you know what I'm saying? Hold it. Do we need the music? I think we might need the music. Hey, pizza delivery, extra pepperoni, if you know what I'm saying. Okay. All of a sudden, the guy who's delivering pizza, which you didn't order, pops out of nowhere, and he's on, and you open like, Vinny, never open the door for again then, Vinny, you don't know, you know what I mean? Well, that's a problem. Vinny's there. He doesn't have any, pizza boxes in his hand. But what you have is a burner launcher. Hey, Vinny. You just open the door just a crack. Little tear gas round right in his direction. And Vinny's down. Hey, now I'm crying. You know what I mean? I'm crying. Now I look like a little girl. Amen. Want non-lethal options to maybe take care of some unscheduled pizza delivery? You know what I'm saying? Berna, the Berna launcher. Protect yourself and your family. 10% off your purchase now. BYRNA.com/Glenn.
Don't forget to subscribe to Blaze TV. Go to blazetv.com/Glenn. Use the promo code Glenn and save $30.
I just want you to know we're bringing jobs back to America. Hear this music? Strangely, nobody makes 70s porn music anymore that you can just, grab. So we had to pay some people to make this for really no reason at all. We're putting people back to work, just like the Calliope music I just played. Yeah, had to find an expert who actually had access to a Calliope to make that. We're bringing jobs back to America. So you should just know that. We're thrilled to have our HUD secretary on with us, and I've got a lot of questions. Scott Turner is with us, Department of Housing and Urban Development Secretary. Scott, how are you, sir?
Glenn Beck, great to be with you again, sir.
Thank you. It's good to have you. You're pretty safe now because you've gone through the confirmation hearing. So now, usually being on this show is the kiss of death, but congratulations on getting through.
Thank you, sir.
So, Scott, I got a couple of questions. Department of Housing and Urban Development, is this part of the, hey, let's trim things down a bit? This is a Johnson era thing, and how can we fix it or get rid of it?
Well, Glenn, that's a great question. First of all, HUD has failed in its most basic mission over the last several years, and that's to serve the most vulnerable population of our country, families and individuals, as it pertains to housing, as it pertains to homelessness and disaster recovery. And so we literally are in the middle of taking inventory. I bet you haven't heard that word in a long time. Taking inventory of every program at HUD to make sure that the mission that we've been called to do, is this program helping us to fulfill this mission, or is this program not helping us to fulfill this mission? And if it's not, then we need to get rid of it. And so we're taking a holistic view of every program, maximizing the budget, personnel, everything at HUD to make sure, man, that we are efficient, that we're effective, and according to President Trump's leadership, streamlining the processes so that we can best serve the American people. And so that's a great question, man. And we are right in the middle of that right now because we are laser focused on the mission at HUD.
Okay, so let's talk about, because you were just in California, I think North Carolina as well, on the ground. Yes. And I was on the ground in North Carolina right after, and what I saw FEMA and everybody else doing was absolutely an abomination. The key seems to be to get government out of the way. Have the government just maybe take some red tape away and try to help people, and there are things that the government can do and should do when the private sector can't do it. What are you seeing on the ground, let's say in California, that you can help cut the red tape or actually do the right thing to bring some sanity and some help to the people who have lost their homes, both in California and North Carolina?
Well, Glenn, you're exactly right. And first of all, thank you for you and your team and the work that you're doing when it comes to disaster recovery. We were in California, in Los Angeles, both in the Palisades and Altadena neighborhood. It's devastating, as you know. It's heartbreaking to see what the wildfires did, and people lost their homes, schools were lost, churches were lost. But we had an opportunity to meet with families, to meet with church leaders, to meet with community leaders, and to hear their stories, to hear their testimony of what happened. And so a lot of that is burdensome regulations. People want to rebuild their lives. They want to restore their communities, but the government is in the way. The government has to get out of the way. The results that I have seen both in LA and in Asheville, North Carolina, the people are doing the work. Faith-based organizations are doing the work. Nonprofits are doing the work, but the government stands in the way with so much red tape, as you alluded to, and bureaucracy. So we have to do a better job. Oh, sorry about that, Glenn. We have to do a better job as conveners in the government to bring people together and then let them do the work. And that's the key, both in L.A. and in Asheville.
So there's a couple of things. First of all, I don't think it's the federal government in California that's staying. It's California government that is just is insane. Can you do anything about that? And in Asheville, I know there was a DEI Asheville draft action plan that you guys just, thank God, stopped. They were in the midst of completely redesigning that area and putting in all kinds of DEI stuff, ESG stuff, which would have transformed that community into something it never was and never wanted to be. Am I wrong?
Right. No, sir, you're right. So I'll answer your second question first. We were informed that the draft action plan in Asheville, North Carolina, did have DEI elements in it. And DEI in the federal government, according to President Trump's executive order, DEI is over. And here at HUD, DEI is dead. And it's right. It was literally re-engineering. And so we said this is not acceptable. This is not appropriate. We will not fund the draft action plan as it is because it pertains DEI. And so they have come back to us. They've been compliant to work with us so that they can renew their draft action plan. And for not just Asheville, North Carolina, but for everyone who wants HUD-funded grants, we will not accept any DEI element of any kind, but they have thankfully been compliant with us, and so hopefully their new draft action plan we can work with. And going back to California, in particular in LA, I met with the leadership out there and I said, listen, we need to take inventory from a local and state perspective. What are you doing that is hindering the redevelopment and the rebuilding and the revitalization of the communities? Because I have heard from the people, they want to restore their families, they want to rebuild their businesses and rebuild their neighborhoods, but the government is in the way. And if you're seeing what I'm seeing, there's no way that you cannot go back to the drawing board. It's okay. What do we need to get rid of? What burdensome regulations do we need to cut so that our people can rebuild? And so hopefully that we can continue to firmly encourage that.
But is it federal government regulation that is the biggest problem? I mean, I'm glad we're cutting all the federal government red tape, that we can. But it appears to me to be insane California government.
Yes.
And the federal government.
That's exactly right.
Can the federal government get involved in that? I mean, 10th Amendment?
Well, it is. It's local. It's the state, county, city, both in LA and in Asheville. I've heard from the people there. It's the local and it's the state governments that are in the way and the county governments that are in the way. We can do what we can from a federal standpoint, but it's the local and state governments that really make the biggest difference.
There's a story from the New York Daily News, and I think we need the conservative porn music on this one just to read the headline. Here's a headline from New York Daily News. I'm sorry to do this, Secretary. You're a credible individual, and I'm destroying it for you. This has nothing to do with him. HUD's New York City office left with just one management employee after the Trump cuts. Oh, yeah. Okay. Is that true? And what's happening? And I'm sure everybody is saying, "Oh my gosh, the chaos is great." Has there been any chaos with this in New York City?
Well, I mean, there's chaos everywhere, not just for HUD. In New York,
no. But I mean,
everywhere.
right? I mean, from these cuts. I mean,
yeah.
Are people starving on the streets more than they were the day before?
No, and let me set the record straight. President Trump, his administration, our leadership here at HUD, we want to streamline our programs. As I said before, we're taking inventory of every program. We want to make sure that we're being efficient and effective. We are laser focused on the mission that we have here, Glenn, at HUD. The critical functions that we have and that we're supposed to carry out, we continue to carry those out day by day. Consolidation does not mean that we're not able to serve the people, right, no matter their geography. And so if someone's not located in a specific area, it doesn't mean that the people that they're supposed to serve are not being served. So that's fake news. That's just the rumors are, well, we're cutting everything. We're not going to be able to serve the people that we're supposed to serve. Well, it's the exact opposite. We're serving people better by the way we're streamlining and making things more effective. Over the last 4 years, like I said before, HUD has not even fulfilled its basic obligation, but now with streamlining, with taking inventory, with consolidation, we'll actually be able to serve them in an even more efficient and effective manner.
Well, I mean, this is something that politicians don't usually know because usually politicians, are either lawyers or they went right into politics, the professional politicians. And a lawyer has never built a business. They never have built a business. Lawyers are paid to say no to the people in business because they're there to protect, and they don't understand private industry at all. And the one thing that private industry understands is when the company is going out of business, yeah, there might be a little chaos when somebody comes in and says, you know what, we're going to save the company and we can do things better and listen to our customer better, but we're going to have to cut all of the crap and all of the stuff that's not necessary and all the jobs of people that aren't needed anymore or not working anymore. We're going to have to do some rehiring after we fire. And there is that transition period. But if you've ever been in the free market and worked for an actual company, you've been through this before.
Yeah.
You've been through it. Everybody has. But
That's
for
right.
some reason,
That's
the federal government just doesn't think they ever have to go through that. We've had this system going since the Johnson administration. We can't change anything. Everything has changed since the Johnson administration.
That's exactly right. And Glenn, and you talk about the private sector. You talk about people that have come from a business background and a business mindset. And that, with President Trump's leadership, that's what's going on. We have people that have been involved in the private sector, people that have built businesses, worked in business, and transition is taking place. Change is taking place. But when change comes, it's hard. It's uncomfortable. But when you go through an uncomfortable situation, that means there's growth. That means that you're not stagnated. That means that you're not complacent. Complacency literally has stifled our country. It's stifled the growth in our country. It's stifled ingenuity and innovativeness. And so we're coming in under President Trump's leadership and say, hey, man, this is a time of change. And when you prune things, it hurts. But after pruning comes growth, comes fruition. And so that's what's going on in our country. You know what? When I was in the NFL, Glenn, I was uncomfortable a lot. And, they put the film on every Monday and it made you uncomfortable. But for those 2 hours that you watch film, you got to see, hey, where am I strong and where am I weak? What changes need to be made in my play so that I could be the best player I can for our team? And so that's what we're doing here at HUD and in this administration. We're watching film and we're identifying the weaknesses. We're identifying the strengths. And that's what's going on. And you know what? That's hard. But the American people voted 77 million strong for change and for transition. And so that's what we're carrying out.
I was just talking to, I think it was Sage Steele this week I was talking to, and she said, when somebody walks into, the NFL and you're being cut, these big, huge, strong guys sometimes will just break down in tears and cry because that's what they've always wanted to do. And they know this is the place to be the very best. You want to play football, you have to be the very best. And not everybody, even though you might be a good football player, you're not the cream of the crop. And that's the way all of our businesses should be. That's the way that our government should be. I'm sorry, you might be a really good person, but we have to be the most efficient. We have to be the best at what we do, or we shouldn't be doing it. And so I'm sorry, you are going to have to watch the films. You are going to have to get better every single day. And we are cutting some of you. I know that's going to make you cry, but it should also it should also tell you something. That's why you wanted to work here, because it was inspiring, because we were the best at what we do. And the government's not the best at what they do on anything.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you're right. And I've been cut before in the NFL, and it does hurt. And so you take inventory of yourself. You take inventory of yourself as an individual, as a player. And here at HUD, we are specifically saying, how do we put the people, the best people, in the right place to do the best job to serve the American people? Not just for now, Glenn, but literally for generations to come, for the posterity of our nation. We're making the hard, healthy decisions right now. And one thing I will say to you and to your listeners, we are very clear here at HUD to be very deliberate and to be very specific and surgical about everything we do. We have a critical mission. HUD is like no other place. We serve the most vulnerable people of our nation, and we understand that. And so we're strategic in the moves that we make. We're surgical and precise in the decisions that we make on a daily basis so that we can carry out this mission in the most powerful, effective, and efficient manner. And that starts with me and my team on a daily basis, so people can rest assured that's our heartbeat here.
Our Secretary of the Department of Housing and Urban Development, Scott Turner. Scott, thank you so much. Keep up the good work. Say hi to everybody that is doing this work as well.
Yes,
we're on your side. Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet. All right. Let me tell you, do we have the kaleidoscope music? Because I got to pay for it again. Welcome to the Midnight Carnival. Step up right here. The show that never ends. Enter the tossing and turning event. Enter the ride, the worry go-round. Witness the clowns of insomnia juggling your peace of mind. It happens every night. Step on in. Tonight, there is something new. It's going to shut the carnival down. It is Z Factor from Relief Factor. It's 100% drug-free. It's a blend of natural ingredients that will first dim the lights in your brain and then bring the curtain down. And look, if you suffer from insomnia at all, you can use drugs to do it, and it's horrible. It's horrible for you. First-time Z-Factor buyers, 46% savings, $19.95 for a 30-day supply. ReliefFactor.com, 800-4-RELIEF.
This is Glenn Beck.
Imagine one of those flashy TV magicians came up to your house and lowered the giant sheet over the whole thing with helicopters and then waved their hands and yelled some magic words, and then your house disappears. Of course, the bad news is that your house is gone. The good news is that the magician would be right there, so you could just, punch him after he, at least until he made your house come back. Unfortunately, cyber thieves can kind of make your house disappear as well, and they're nowhere nearly as entertaining as magicians, and they can't be found afterward. It is called house stealing, and it is a serious problem these days. People find your home's title online and can literally turn it into their property. This is why you need to get Home Title Lock and triple lock protection for your home. Triple Lock provides 24/7 monitoring of your title. If anything goes wrong, they will work with you to fix it. And they'll alert you if anything does go wrong immediately. They take care of every aspect of this. And Home Title Lock has a special offer going on right now if you go to HomeTitleLock.com. Go there, use the promo code BLAZE. You'll get 30 days of the triple lock protection for free. So might as well at least take advantage of that at the very least. And then you get a free title history report to make sure you aren't already a victim. Go there now, HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com. Use the promo code BLAZE to protect your home, your equity, and your peace of mind today. It's HomeTitleLock.com. The promo code is BLAZE. HomeTitleLock.com. Promo code is BLAZE. Don't wait until it's too late.
Welcome to the Glenn Beck program. So we've got some listeners chiming in on this hour's show that are part of the Blaze TV family. Tricia, coming soon, the new Glenn Beck Fart Cast. Mark said, Glenn, farting for an hour. I'd watch for the entire episode. Piglet said they're already labeling our HUD secretary, Uncle Tom. These people are crazy. Join the family, blazetv.com/Glenn.
This is Glenn Beck.